Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 206. We made it this far, Pete. Can you believe it?
No.
Oh, I think it's like 4 years now.
Yeah, it is actually. Well, it is over.
It is.
Well, it'll be fifth. We're into our fifth.
Oh my gosh, I can't count. But this is true. We know this.
Oh, it was 2019, so yeah.
Yeah,
we're into our fifth.
Yeah, it was. I am your co-host, Kiley Wilde, and I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett.
Yo.
And my ever-present glass of wine. Which you could come check out if you go to twitch.tv/rapid reviews. I am begging you, come join the conversation. Our wonderful mod has clipped something that I cannot wait to see.
I believe it's the Kylie would be posh if she didn't open her pie hole.
This is true. This is very true. But yes, so I think what I normally do is I like to start this show off by asking Pete, and if we had a guest. By the way, Pete, it's time to start getting guests on the show again.
We might have to, yeah.
As a little teaser. I like to ask Pete and or our guest if we had one, but we don't have one. How has your week been, Pete?
It has been a very busy but somewhat productive week, let's say. I will talk about something in a minute that I have done this week that may interest people. Mostly work, unfortunately, this week, but I have had some time to play some games too, which has been good. So I'm going to leave one in particular until you want to discuss it, because we've played a game there has been a game that we've both played. For the first time in a long time, there has been a game we've both played.
I can't wait. I still don't know what it is.
No, I've kept it away from you. So I will start with the one that I've just been playing for probably about half an hour, just before the show. I played a few games of Street Fighter 6 again.
Of course. No surprise there.
That's mostly because apparently at Gamescom there might be the reveal of Terry, so I'm getting into the mind frame of I'm dropping Kimberly to play Terry. So, yeah.
Pete, we should go to Gamescom next year.
Hang on. I'll see if I can afford that time off. I might have a lot of things going on next year as well. But we'll try and figure it out if we can.
It would be really cool. It would make a great episode.
Yeah. I'm sure it will, yeah. Anyway. I'd love to go myself, but yeah. Apparently Terry's coming out, so I wanted to get back into the swing of the game. So I just played a few ranked games just before we jumped on, because, well, I've been working all weekend, so I haven't had much time to game, so I was like, why not? The game is still very fun, still very enjoy the meta of it. Got wrecked by a few camis, which is always fun. And I'm pretty sure I came across a weird Akuma player, but hey, let's not talk about that.
Okay.
Might have been some cheating involved, potentially.
Ah, right. It's okay.
But I don't know. I'm not too sure. But so there are two main games that I've been playing this week, but like I said, I'm going to save one until you talk about it, because we'll get a discussion going on that one, I think. But I know they are currently in the chat, twitch.tv/rapid reviews, do it. But best friend of the show, Mike Tendo,
yes,
may or may not have started a new podcast called Game and Chat.
Sources say may have.
And sources may have said that I am appearing as a guest on the second episode that's coming tomorrow.
No.
Where we played a game that I have not played in a couple of years at this point.
Right.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And my goodness, was it a lot of fun, but I forget how difficult it is to play games whilst you're chatting away.
Yes, it is!
So you can check. I won't talk a lot about it because obviously you can see and hear that discussion as of tomorrow once it goes live. We will link it once it does. But the one thing that I will give away from that is that I am now best friend of their show.
Oh, yay!
So Kylie, if you're interested, please get in touch with Mike because he's looking for people to
Course
jump
I
on.
can.
So go and
That's what she said.
yeah. But so a lot of the game was just obviously just chatting away, just having fun playing the game. It was all. It was very much. It was a lot of fun, and that's now sparked my interest more in Terry again because Terry's also in that game.
Very
So,
good.
I really enjoyed it. It was good fun, but I won't tell you who won overall.
Yeah, let's save that for the show.
Yeah.
Then it says, "Oh wow, that game is old now." Lol, that should be a fun episode. I bet it is.
Yeah,
and Mike says, "Best friend of the show."
Yeah, the game is quite old now, and it is. It's still very good though, and actually surprisingly, held up surprisingly. The online holds up surprisingly well actually when you play via an Ethernet cable,
right.
and considering that Mike is in Spain, didn't really have a lot of lag, which is very good.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah,
Ooh.
everyone seems to give a lot of crap towards the online on that game, and I don't know why, because it's not that bad at times.
Well, Mike says would also love to have you on sometime, Callie. I would love to be on, Mike. Woo! Yes.
Send a link to the Discord then and get her involved.
I'm not on Discord very often.
No, but you'll have to use it for
And
that.
sometimes on
But
it.
that's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
And Nana, yes, we were. I was on another
Well,
podcast, but we're gonna discuss. Well, it hasn't been released yet. It's
That's
coming.
what she said.
That's what she also
That's what
said.
she said.
Anyway, that's my games bar one for this week.
Yes. Okay. Do you want me to now say my games and say all of them?
Yes, please do. Start with whatever you
Okay.
want to start with.
Well, Monday. First of all, for our lovely, lovely listeners out there and our absolutely beautiful viewers, I am a streamer now, and I stream over on Kiley or WILDE. Please come, please visit me. I'm very lonely. I don't talk to people until I stream, and I really, really want friends. I need friends. Friends make me happy. But on Monday, I started streaming the next part of Remnant 2.
Mm-hmm. So what type of game is Remnant, by the way?
So Remnant, okay, first and foremost, it is a beautiful game. I got it free. I won it in a competition, and so I have to say it's a beautiful game. The sound design is way on point. The music is so good. It's an RPG with FPS, tendencies.
Oh yeah, you did say this last week. Sorry.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's like Destiny, but without the looting, just the shooting. And I guess the looting is more you have crafting abilities, and then of course you're just a whole RPG element. The problem is not with the game, but with me. I'm not an RPGer anymore. It's so funny because when I was a teenager, I was like hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
But I've grown past it. It's not for me anymore. So we got about halfway through, and it was just the same thing over and over. I actually made a reference back to Suicide Squad. When me and Max used to play Suicide Squad, and it became repetitive.
Yeah.
Towards the end, we were just doing the same. We were grinding. We were just doing the same thing over and over. That's actually what happened with Remnant 2. That's not for me. Now that could be for a lot of people out there. A lot of people out there really enjoy that. Not me. So we cut it about halfway through, and we switched to my channel's favorite, Hitman.
Of course.
My channel and my YouTube channel's favorite, Hitman, because holy crap, I don't know why, but my Hitman videos, they do some numbers over on YouTube. But so we had a lot of fun with Hitman. It's a classic. It's always going to be fun, just because I do everything purposely wrong, which, come to find out, some of my friends were watching it, like my actual friends, like people I talk to, and they said, yeah, that pissed me off. I had to stop watching because you made me so mad. And I was like, but I do that on purpose.
But that's the point. That is actually the point. And that's the good thing about Hitman is you can do it in any way that you want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, like...
to some degree.
No, that's true, because outside Xbox, they have a whole Hitman series. It's like they all play Hitman in a different style.
Yeah.
And I love that. And then so I play it purposely, just the one that puts you on the edge of your seat, and you're like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Why did you throw a soda can at that guy's head? And it's like, because I wanted to.
Yeah,
So,
it's very similar
Yeah.
to the computer game shows streams of it. James
There you
Farley
go.
does it, and he goes full psycho, and it's really funny.
Exactly. It's so difficult because if you're like going out to the pier and there's a guy standing on the edge of the pier, those intrusive thoughts win.
They do, yeah.
They just do. And you gotta push them. It doesn't matter that 5 other people can witness it and see it. You gotta push them in. But that's what the save state is for. But so we finished up with Hitman. It was great. Had a lot of fun doing that. And then I think I might have streamed Tuesday. I don't know. Sometimes I do. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I streamed Wednesday.
You did.
Now, Wednesday is the Weird Wednesday over on my channel.
And I'm pretty sure you chose one of the weirdest games.
I did. I chose a game that Matt Berry does all the voices on. Danker, who's lurking in our chat right now, is the one who recommended it. And I almost didn't pick it. But I just kept going back to it. I was like, no, I gotta do this. It's called Thank Goodness You're Here.
Thank goodness I played this as well.
You had to be that with me. Did you really? Why did you pick it up? I gotta know.
It got recommended on a podcast I was listening to. They did a massive bit of coverage for it, and as the fact that the game is only about 2 hours long and 10 quid,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
perfect. Well, it was more than 10 quid. It was like £13.
11.
So,
Well, I got on sneakies.
well, the fact is that I got the Switch version, so I could play it on the go.
Right.
So it was £13 on there. It's supposed to be 15, but I think because it's launch week, they reduced it a slight bit. But I also had some gold coins to use, so I got it for about 11 quid.
Right. Okay. Oh my goodness. So this.
Don't you mean
game,
thank goodness?
Thank goodness. So this game is so British, and I mean that in the absolute best way possible. It is quintessentially British. The
Quintessentially
humor is,
quirky.
it's quirky. The humor is brilliant. It's exactly my type of humor. It was the I love double entendres. I don't like in your face sexual stuff. I don't know, it doesn't work on me.
Yeah.
But double entendres and innuendo, this game's got
Oh,
it.
there's a ton of them.
So it does. It's hilarious. Every piece of this is hilarious. And like Pete said, it's only about 2 hours. So
Yeah,
about an hour and a
I think my playthrough took me was about an hour and 45 minutes.
Well, mine was about 3 hours, but that could be because I was streaming and talking to chat. Because here's what happened over on my channel, which was absolutely amazing. I really had a great week. I'm not gonna lie.
No. Yes, this is more British than a rare Platonic game. This is ridiculous.
Yes, it's British Douglas.
In fact, the opening of it and the menu screen itself and the pause screen are literally just a street in Yorkshire.
So good. It's like a real movie.
Yeah.
And of course, being St. Danker says you claimed. Oh, I haven't yet, but I need to. I just saw your message, Danker. Overall, because I haven't been on Discord forever.
There's a completion prize.
There is, Pete. Yes.
I need to go and collect that then.
But so yes, it's absolutely hilarious. I played I'll say the first half on Wednesday, and then Thursday. I always talk about this. Sometimes when I'm feeling particularly lonely, because like I said, I don't have anyone around me. There are no humans.
Yeah.
I have a human I take care of. Outside of that,
That's
gym
it.
buddy, and that's it. So I get lonely, and so sometimes I'll do what I call stealth streams. If I do a stealth stream, you know that I am sad and lonely.
And usually it's been House Flipper, but you're like, I better play this quirky British game.
Exactly. I said I'll just go ahead and finish it. So I started playing it, and I got rated. I got rated. It was amazing. For some really, really great, sweet neurodivergence, neurospicy as they call them, groups, and it was wonderful.
Nice.
And we just had a good old time. We finished out the game, and it was so good. It was so pleasant. It was so fun. The vibe was great. I picked up 3 followers.
Nice.
Which is neither here nor there, but hey, come follow me because I want to make affiliate. But so for me, the game, yes, of course, I've said this before. I associate a lot of the games I play with, if I'm playing them with other people. Like I can't completely hate on Suicide Squad because I played it with Mags and Mags made it fun. So I can't say that's a terrible game. So Thank Goodness You're Here is a great game, but it was made even better because chat was riding along with me. I was gonna say they were playing along with me. They weren't quite playing, but they were riding along with me, and it was just fun, and it was hilarious, and it was, like I said, quintessentially British. The humor was on point. Matt Berry is amazing. I mean, anything he touches, I'm like, oh, that sounds bad. Anything. Him and David Iwata, those are my 2. Like, if they're associated with it, I am there.
Don't you mean Richard Ayoade?
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Dave. Because he's on Dave the channel.
Yeah.
IT crowd's on there.
Christ.
Yeah. So Richard Iwata. But yes. So I absolutely enjoyed it. Pete, what are your thoughts on Thank Goodness You're Here?
It is probably one of the weirdest games that I've played in a long time. It's very strange. It's very quirky. It's very quintessentially British. It is just... it was an experience, let's say that.
Yes, I like that, an experience.
I wouldn't say it's much of a game, though. Like, there are game elements in it. There's not much... Like, you're not really going to go into it and go, oh, there's a hell of a lot of game here, because it's a 2-hour experience, and it's made by a very small team, and it's a budget game. There's nothing wrong with that. It fulfills a purpose. I just think that sometimes it was a little bit sort of confusing as to what you were supposed to actually do next.
Yes. Now, that is true. In fact, I think Danker helped me out a whole lot, because I would get kind of lost on some parts.
There was some stuff where you did.
Yeah, and he had watched Ed Trotz play it. So he was the fount of knowledge, and helped me, make my way through it, which was good because, like you said, there are parts where you get stuck. But I'll tell you what it reminded me of was 2 games. It reminded me of Little Kitty Big City. Little Kitty Big City, and partly even Untitled Goose Game. It had some elements to that.
I agree.
Which, you could argue, is that a game? Is it not a game?
Which is quite funny, actually, by the way, because on Steam and on the eShop, there is a bundle that you can get of both this and Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, amazing!
So, so there's not a lot of game to it. It's mostly just... It's in a 3D environment. You walk around and you're controlling a small human being, completing.
And it gets smaller.
Yeah, completing tasks for. Well, I think it's mostly the perspective of him gets smaller when you go into bigger areas.
Okay. But because like he even fell in beer, and had to go through the bubbles and stuff. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, but that's probably the perspective thing, is that you're in a large area, so you feel smaller as a result, because there's a bit where you go into the loft, don't you, in one of the shops?
Yes, exactly.
And that area is massive, but he looks tiny.
Yes, exactly.
So, it's a really interesting, quirky game, and I keep saying the same thing over and over, but it really is.
It is.
It is a lot of fun. It was just so irrelevant, so stupid, so ridiculous.
It's stupid, I loved it.
Like,
I love stupid stuff.
I don't want to give away a lot of the stuff, because it is just gag after gag after gag after gag. It is just, like, the thing that I'll say about this, and they mentioned this on the Computer Game Show as well, is that if you're not into that kind of humour, it's going to be very difficult to maintain this for 2 hours. It's very tough. But if you're a big fan of British humour, this is
so
absolutely brilliant. So one of the things, I don't want to give away too much with the gags, but there was one particular one that I found really, really funny. Was
Which one would that be?
The all I will say is closed due to Spanky Bum Bum.
I kept saying
It's
that
so stupid. And as it gets on later on in the game, it just gets really more ridiculous.
I love stupid. Well, I love two things. I love stupid humor and I love British humor.
Yep.
Which, if this is for my fellow Americans out there, my fellow Americans, if you ever want to know something that is stupid and British humor, you need to watch the series called Bottom.
Oh my god, it's fantastic. Well, I would recommend actually watching the young ones first and then Bottom.
Well, the young ones, yes, but see, we got the young ones over in America. We would get it on what's called PBS.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so I got
before
to
you
grow
had
up
BBC
watching
America.
that. Yes, exactly. So I got to grow up watching the young ones, and I absolutely loved it. And so for Americans listening to this, Aiden Edmondson and Rick Mayhall, who were in the young ones, went on and they made this show called Bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of it, never saw it. The only thing I knew about Rick Mayhall besides the young ones was obviously Drop Dead Fred, where I had a huge crush on him because I'm demented, apparently. Who has a crush on Drop Dead Fred? Oh my gosh.
No one.
Well, me, apparently. I really am messed up. Anyway.
It'll explain a lot.
That tells you the kind of guys I'm into. But anyway, so they did a series called Bottom. Now it has other iterations. They did like a live show. They did a continuation. It doesn't matter. You need to watch Bottom. It's hilarious. I just die laughing the whole time. It is perfect. So Thank Goodness You're Here is in that same vein.
Yeah, it is.
It's stupid, but also British humor. Oh, interesting.
He
Mike
did,
says
yeah.
Rick Mayhall voice acted for Hogs of War on the original PlayStation. I don't know that.
I remember Hogs of War. I played it a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
And
oh, wow.
yeah, it was one of those quintessential sort of like British games that we ended up playing as a kid. That and Team Buddies on the PS1.
I don't remember that one, but I definitely remember Hogs of War.
Nobody remembers Team Buddies, and Team Buddies was brilliant. Stupid game.
Well,
Such a stupid game.
Well, I will recommend Thank Goodness You're Here. First of all, absolutely for our British audience. There's no, it's amazing. Americans, if you like stuff like Monty Python and Are You Being Served and the young ones, if you grew up watching that, which I'm so glad that I did, you will love this game. If you didn't like any of that, it's probably going to be too British.
It's tough to recommend.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. My chat enjoyed it. I got followers out of it. I got rated out of it. It was amazing.
Yeah. Honestly, I really enjoyed it as well. This was a game that I played this weekend, actually, because I was working. So I played it on my lunch break, and I just could not put the game down. That even when I was supposed to be doing stuff, I was just had it on pause, and I would do a little bit here and there. So, it was just really stupidly fun. Like, really enjoyed it. I'm glad I picked it up, actually, and just had a good laugh playing it.
Oh, it was so good.
Did you know that asbestos never hurt anyone quite like a chip fryer does?
I love that, and I also love there is a kind of rivalry between Big Pies and Little Pies.
Oh, God.
And so it just captures the current state of things. It's very good.
So stupid. Oh God! Did you notice it right in the alleyway?
What?
There was the eyeball in the little hole, and he kept putting sausages through.
He was like, "Oh, let me put my sausage through here. Oh,
just another one. Oh, that's too much.
Oh my gosh!" And it was Matt Berry's real voice, but a little bit of a sexual undertone. I was like, oh, it's so creepy.
Oh, it's terrible, but it was one of the ones that made me laugh. But there is a constant running gag in that area as well, and I absolutely love that gag just every time.
No, it was great. It was really good.
I don't want to give the gag away, but the person gets more and more annoyed is really, really funny.
Yes, it's that, so I played that Wednesday and Thursday. And had a great time. Finished the game on air. It was amazing.
Honestly, just before you move on, will that make your Game of the Year list at the moment?
You know what? It's on my list. It is absolutely on my list.
Look, I think it's probably going to make my list as well.
Yeah.
At the moment, it is.
The list is quite small because we don't have that many games. But it's definitely on there.
Yeah.
So, I played that Wednesday and Thursday. Had a great time. Chat had a great time. Absolutely loved it. Then on Friday, I played what I think by now is probably considered a classic. I never thought that I would play this game. I have seen it so many times on like Game Grumps, and I think even outside Xbox did it. A couple of people did. It's very famous, very well known among streamers. And the reason why is because you get to voice different characters. So, Dagger says, now will it make the Kiley? That's the question. I think it might. I do. I think it's going to make it. But I played, and this is not a joke, I started Doki Doki Literature Club.
A game that I actually own on Steam as well.
Do you really?
Yeah, I've never got round to playing it, but I own it.
I've never played it. I have watched so many iterations of it, of people streaming it, and I just went ahead and somebody suggested it to me during the week because I needed a horror game, and Ned says, I'm pretty sure that's not the reason why it's famous. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Anime Tiddies.
Yep, there you go. That's the name of this episode. Please call it that, Pete. And you can put a star. You can put a star
I'm just calling it.
Oh, he just call it? Okay, let's see. Nana says, I have thoughts, but I'll save them for after Kiley gets to a certain point. Yeah, so I went into this. I vaguely know that there's a twist ending, but I've never, oh, okay. Dagger says, oh, should have made that clear. Jeff Keighley's. Oh, right, okay.
Sorry, we only refer to those as the Sheely Awards.
Yeah. He calls him Jeff Sheely. I think he's adorable, and I want to put him in my pocket and take him out. But anyway, if you haven't guessed, I really like short men.
No.
I know, right? Who knew that?
Shocking.
One. I know. But what was I saying? Oh, Doki Doki Literature Club. So I vaguely know there's a twist ending, but I don't know the ending. I didn't hang with Game Grumps to the end. I didn't hang with Outside Xbox. I didn't hang with, I remember, was it Danny? Danny might have done it over on GameStop.
I'm pretty sure everyone has done a stream of it at some point.
But I've never lasted towards the end. That's what she said. So I know there's a twist, and I know it's considered horror, but as we're playing it, I never really, we were just reading poetry, okay? But I have to say, as a streamer, holy crap, I enjoyed it so much. It was so fun. I loved doing the different voices. I absolutely adored that. By the time I was done, I streamed for 2 hours. Now, I don't stream for 2 hours. I do an hour and a half. Because I don't like to, I know my audience kind of blends with Mags, and I'm not going to cross his stream. Never cross the streams. But on Fridays, I can do that. And so I went 2 hours, and at the end I couldn't even talk because it's all.
Well, it's also if you're doing voices as well.
Exactly. But it was so engaging, and like I said, it's the highest viewed stream I've ever done in a year. I've been streaming for a year, just about. I have decided, and I asked chat, and they agreed with me. I'm going to continue this on. We're going to get to the end. We're going to do this every Friday until we get to the end.
Good.
It's weird because it's almost like a dating sim.
Well, it's.
I don't think it is.
It kind of is. It's.
It is.
Oh God, what do they call it?
I don't know.
No. There's a genre of games, and I can't remember what it's called. Crap.
All
Oh,
I know
why have I forgotten that now?
I don't know. Waifu?
No. Well, it's a dating sim. It's hang on.
Well,
Oh, carry
it
on.
does. It does come across as a dating sim. That's how it kind of starts. But then you start seeing little twitches, little glitches. Yes, Nana says it is, but it's not. Psychological horror, which, if you follow my streams, psychological horror is my absolute favorite genre, which is why I went ahead when somebody suggested this to me last week. I was like, fine, I'll just go ahead and do it.
That's it. Visual novel.
Visual novel, yes, yes, yes. And I do have one. If this does as well as it did last Friday, I have another one lined up, but I'm going to keep that to myself.
Please do. Yeah, it'd be better if you just jump straight
but
in.
It's another one in the same vein. But I'm still waiting for the horror part of it, so we'll see how that happens. But yes, I do want to encourage everyone. And look, if you're a podcast listener, we have a lot more podcast listeners than we do Twitch followers, and that's okay. But if you're a podcast listener, I do ask you to come stop by my channel. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to talk. You can lurk. It's okay. But it's really funny. It's really funny. You'll have a great time. And that's KILEY_WILDE. And I am trying to make affiliates, so if you do follow me, that would be good.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. You don't have to. No requirement.
Sorry, the link is in the show notes, so if you're listening, you can just click the link and go straight to the stream and give it a follow. Please, go and support, because it is actually a really fun and engaging streams when I can stop by.
Yeah, I really want to, I mean, it's all based on, community effort and all that kind of stuff, but I'm really, really, really enjoying the community that I'm starting to cultivate, which is just, I'm a positive, giggly streamer. I have a little bit of mischief, if you listen to this show, I like to flip people off and say the F word a lot. But it's still a very fun, good time. Everyone is welcome. We don't judge anyone or anything like that. And it's, honestly, I can't think of what it might be, lol. And I know most of the internet dating games. Oh, if I say, Nana, I will give you this tiny little hint, but don't say anything. It involves pigeons.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I know the game. I think I've played it as well. It's brilliant.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Yeah,
Very good to see you.
Yeah, I have seen and played that game, and it is bonkers. It's completely bonkers.
It goes off in left field, so that isn't. You know what it is now? Well, see, can you imagine me doing all of those voices?
Yes.
Oh, I will have to take mini breaks.
That'll be a hoot.
Nana, that one is gonna be funny. Oh, Flame says, I'm good. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, Flame. Yes, we're doing very well.
Thank you.
Very good to see you. Thank you for dropping by. But yes, so if you find yourself just on a Friday night between 7 and 9, it's usually about an hour and a half, but we'll say 7 and 9. Come stop by my channel, KILEY_WILDE, and join us for some Doki Doki Literature Club. You get to hear me do, I kid you not, Pete, 5 different voices. 5 completely different voices.
Nice.
Cool. But yes, so that is my week of games. That's your week of games,
yeah,
correct?
we've gone very long on that, but we actually had the game that we wanted to discuss together, so that's quite cool.
Exactly. So I guess we could say a Rapid Reviews recommendation of Thank Goodness You're Here.
Yeah.
Would you say that? A Rapid Reviews recommendation? Yes.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up! So that's 4 thumbs up in my British accent.
Yeah, I did love the fact that it asked you if you knew what the hell they were talking about at the front.
No, so obviously because I'm American, I had to choose no or whatever it was. But the other one was all right.
Yeah.
Which I know is what Northerners say.
I know it is as well, but I still chose the yeah.
Thank you, Nana.
Yeah, I still chose the I have no clue because I just
yeah, because I was like, I will never understand. too Texan for that. Danger says a certain someone is planning a playthrough in September. Oh, very interesting, very interesting.
Yes.
Yes. So definitely, rapid reviews recommended. Which we can have a stamp, like a graphic. But now, that is usually we usually do that in about 5 minutes. We've now done that in about 20 minutes.
No, it's actually half an hour.
Oh, has it? Well, I'm actually kind of proud of us because we talked about games we've played.
That's a first. Well, we could have actually got a whole episode about that game alone.
To be fair, yes. And I do want to say that if you want to join me over on my channel, do not ever feel obligated. It is really just if you find yourself at around 7 o'clock at night in UK time and you're just like, I'll throw it on. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now, Monday, I am streaming a game called Fallen Aces, which is very cool. It is like a noir detective FPS game.
Cool.
And I am really looking forward to that. And then Wednesday, for my weird game, I'm doing something called Unturned.
Okay.
It looks really weird, but it's very, very highly rated, and it's not weird like I've done a couple of weeks ago. Those were too weird. And of course, Friday will be Doki Doki Literature Club.
Cool.
So that's me. But Pete, do you want to prediction started? Oh goodness.
I worry about what this is.
But
anyway, shall we carry on whilst we wait?
Yes, you carry on because I have just messed up my chat.
Yes, of course you have. Anyway.
Great chat.
No.
Goodness.
So I'm going to predict no. But yeah, it's fine.
I can't even see it.
Will this episode be an hour and 30 minutes? I think.
Well, I doubt it. I've still got 2 glasses of wine left, so.
Nana said I'll give you a suggestion for Monday, Neon White.
Oh, I've heard about Neon White. I've heard that's really, really good. I need to look into that, actually.
There's another game that I'd recommend to play on your weird Wednesdays, maybe.
Okay.
It's a game that came out this year. It's called Balatro.
It's called what?
Balatro.
Balatro.
Yeah, it's a card-based game, but it's based on poker.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's got a lot of buzz, so I'm planning on picking it up at some point.
Okay.
So,
I'll look into that.
Yeah, anyway.
Sure.
Let's do some news. I mean, I'm probably not sure how long all of this is going to take, so shall we start? Let's start on the shortest one first.
Yes.
And by shortest ones, I mean Kevin Hart. Boom.
Perfect.
So does.
I like short.
So that might be an indication of what we might be talking about first, and that would be Borderlands.
I can imagine, yeah, which has been all over the news. But yes, go ahead, Pete. Let us hear about Borderlands.
About Borderlands, because Borderlands has come out. It's another video game adaptation and it's got a cast in there that is revered. Let's say there's a few decent actors and actresses.
Hey, and they look good. On the stills that I've seen, on the still shots. Promo shots.
And it's got a director that once had a good reputation.
See? Exactly.
And I'll pretend that I didn't see any wine spilling.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad, Pete.
Anyway, so...
on my keyboard, by the way.
So, film came out on Friday. Up until Thursday night, maybe Friday morning. It was for the longest period of time. It was sitting at no more than 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. As of the time of recording, it is currently at 10% out of 94 critic reviews.
I want it to be good.
So, shall we read some of the top critic ratings?
Go for
So,
it.
from the New York Post, rated 0 out of 4. There's hardly any character development or dramatic peaks and valleys in Borderlands to hold the viewer's interest, or even for such a brief runtime. Oh, savage. Jared Jones from AV Club. The tone of the movie is all over the map, which leaves much of the cast painting expressions on their faces that are a cross between stoic frustration and subtle confusion. The New York. I'm gonna have a look at a couple more. Right, I'm just opening up the link here. 2 secs. So I want to try and find a particularly scathing one.
Has any of our chat seen it?
Oh, here we go. Right.
Movie out of 4.
So, Paul Tassi from Forbes. Borderlands feels like pure ego. Look at these huge stars. We got to play these characters even if they make no sense. Borderlands fans will show up no matter what. We're launching the Borderlands cinematic universe.
Look, I love Borderlands. I've made that very clear. I will watch this because I love Borderlands. But I'm very sad to hear if it's bad. Like, how can you mess up Borderlands? It's so cut and dry. It's so, like, it's got great music, first of all. And second of all, it's got great characters. Just throw them in. You don't even have to have a story. Borderlands sure doesn't have a story.
Well, here's one particularly scathing, and it's very short in terms of the preview for it. Jeremy Johns.
Oh, no.
This movie feels horribly miscast.
Oh, no!
So Kate Blanchett, a 50-odd-year-old actress who is playing a late 20s character. A 70-something-year-old Jamie Lee Curtis who's playing a late 30s character.
She looks good.
A character that's supposed to be playing Tiny Tina that is a child that is an actual adult.
Yeah, okay, so that kind of bothered me. Not gonna lie.
Apparently, Kevin Hart is barely in the movie despite being in all the promotional material.
And being, like, one of the main characters.
And apparently there is literally no character development whatsoever, and it is just a horrid, horrid mess from what I've been hearing. I will watch it when it comes out to streaming, because I can, if it's on the right platform, of course.
Well, yeah. Like it's on Paramount.
I'll come back and let you know what my review of it will be once I've watched it.
Hey, Mike Tiddies is talking about Borderlands. Borderlands, love it. Dennis says, wait, Tiny Tina is from... Yes, Tiny Tina is from Borderlands. We had a former co-host that used to say that I was Tiny Tina.
Yeah, so if you remember when I did one of the WASD episodes, or EGX Res, I think it was, that I played Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which is actually a Borderlands spin-off. It was originally a DLC as well, Tiny Tina's from Borderlands 2.
Yeah. And Tiny Tina is actually voiced from the girl who was on What You Play in Ash, which was a YouTube series that I used to watch. So I don't know why he thought I was Tiny Tina, but yes, he did.
Yeah, and she is an obnoxious character.
She is obnoxious, but I kind of love her.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's what I did with the Sonic films, because I had no interest in seeing those in cinema, lol. But they were actually kind of good.
I like the first two. Unironically, actually quite excited to see the trailer for the third one when it comes out, which, according to rumours, is apparently supposed to be this month.
That's what they say.
So I'll be interested to see that. But yeah, once it comes out, I'll give you a full review. But some of the people that have seen this have turned around and unironically called it the worst video game adaptation of all time. Even worse than some of the Uwe Boll movies.
Nothing beats Super Mario Brothers. Nothing beats that. That's the worst adaptation.
No, it is not. Ever. I mean, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible movie.
It is terrible.
But some of the Uwe Boll movies have been utterly atrocious, like Blood Rain and Silent Hill.
I weirdly like his stuff.
I do as well, but they are bloody awful. But
I like them. I was gonna say I like them because they're terrible.
Yeah. It's like watching The Room.
His Aliens was exactly that. Oh, I love The Room.
Oh, Monster Hunter. Oh my god.
New Monster Hunter was a movie.
Yeah, Monster Hunter was done by Paul W.S. Anderson, who also did the Resident Evil movies, and for some reason cast Mila Jovovich in it because it's his wife.
She did that. Monster Hunter had a movie. Dagger says some people are loving it, however. They are going in with zero knowledge of the game franchise. Yeah, exactly. See, now that is something that I have noticed about video game to movie franchises. They try to do it so that movie audiences will enjoy it, but they disregard the game fans, if that makes sense. I think that's a very backwards way to do it.
Yeah, the thing is, I think we've discussed this on the Neville Watchers before, is when you try to make video game movies, or you're trying to cater to an audience that is... you're trying to cater to an audience that is used to a passive medium, and you're not going to please those who are more involved in an active medium.
Yes, exactly.
So it's always going to be a hard struggle. Like, you have to try and appeal to the mass audience to some degree. And there are some movies that do it well, and there are some movies that don't do it well. Ready Player One being a very poor example of how to do it not very well. It's an awful movie.
It's a terrible movie, yes. Mike Tendo says she wouldn't make movies otherwise.
That is correct.
Nana says, yeah, there was a Monster Hunter movie that was barely Monster Hunter. I cannot believe that. But
it's like making a Street Fighter movie that's barely anything to do with Street Fighter.
Well,
they've done that twice.
But don't forget, Hitman is a terrible movie, which I'm so disappointed
Why did they make two of them?
Why? And then, what's the one? Oh, frick, I've just forgotten. Oh, I just forgotten the name of it. Oh, I hate myself for this.
What was it?
Marky Mark was in it.
Oh, Max Payne.
Yes, Max Payne. How can you mess up Max Payne? Like, how? Like,
because you cast Mark Wahlberg. That's why.
Mostly that.
And then another notorious example is Uncharted. Uncharted is a terrible movie as well. Another Mark Wahlberg one.
It's so bad, just across the board. It is terrible. Ugh.
Shocking.
Absolutely.
I can't believe they're making a second one of that.
I know.
Awful. Anyway, speaking of films that have, games that have film adaptations,
yes.
We're going to talk about a game that had a film adaptation. We're going to talk about a game version. Sonic.
Okay. Oh, right, okay.
So let's talk Sonic Generations, because Sonic Cross Shadow Generations is due to come out a bit later on in the year, I believe in October.
Yes. I liked Sonic Generations.
I'm not gonna lie, unironically love that game. I think it's brilliant.
Right. I really like it. I like the way they did it. I think it was a good balance.
Yeah, after some of the schlock that we'd had from Sonic Team over the years, it was actually quite a nice return to form for me. So anyone who really likes playing Sonic Generations will know that, it's quite easily accessible.
Yes.
At the moment.
Right.
Because Sonic Generations is being delisted next month, but won't be entirely unavailable.
Are you kidding me, Pete?
Let's read the story and find out what the hell's going on, because this sounds really confusing, right?
Yes, it does. 100%. Yes.
So Sonic Generations being delisted from digital stores next month, players will still have a way to buy it. In a statement posted in the official Sonic the Hedgehog account on Twitter on Friday, Sega confirmed that the 2011 game will be pulled from stores from September 9th, presumably a way to make way for the remaster Sonic Cross Shadows Generations. However, it also stated that those who don't have the game will still be able to acquire it through a new bundle even after it's been delisted. It also reassured players of the Steam version, which has a small but dedicated modding scene, that mod support will continue to be enabled. So this is a quote. We're excited to share Sonic Cross Shadow Generations with you this October and see a new generation cherish this game as much as we do. On September 9th, the original Sonic Generations will be removed as a standalone title, but we've heard your feedback and want to help preserve the game. X'd out. Anyway, carry on. Therefore, Sonic Generations will still be available via bundles of other iconic Sonic titles on Steam and Xbox. Existing owners of the title will still be able to download and play as well. Lastly, we are happy to confirm that mods on the Steam version will not be affected. So, let's find out what actually is properly going on with this, because the new bundle, which is called Sonic the Hedgehog Legacy Bundle, will include a number of Sonic games for $60.
That's insane! I'm sorry, I just yelled that. I very apologize to
I'm just looking through these games, and let's just talk about the games on here, because they're not good.
Yeah, $60 is insane.
So this is the games that come included within this bundle. Sonic Generations Collection, so I can only assume that that's probably the 3DS version as well.
Right?
Some of the DLC. Sonic Adventure DX, fine. The director's cut version of it. Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, fine. Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1 and 2. Oof.
Nope.
Sonic 3D Blast.
No.
And Sonic Spinball.
No.
All for $60 you can play these massive piles of crap games.
Oh my gosh. What the F?
Thanks, Sega, for preserving these rubbish games that we don't actually want preserved anymore. No, I'm joking. Preserve the games, but Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, alright, do it in like that weird thing that Sega does ever so often. They release like Sega collection.
Yeah.
It's usually
the Sonic, like having the Sonic Gems collection and a Sonic Mega Gems collection, and
do that.
Frickin' hell.
Oh my gosh. Nana says, I think they did this because of mods, and apparently the remaster of Sonic Colors was really bad.
Yeah, Sonic Colors Remastered was particularly bad, and Sonic.
Oh my
But that's
gosh.
the thing. Sonic Colors is a really good game, though.
Is it?
I really enjoyed some of it. The Wisp stuff was kind of annoying as hell, but it's quite okay actually. But I liked it. I was a lapsed Sonic fan for a while, so actually to get Generations and then Colors was like, oh, this is actually quite good.
I really enjoyed Generations. I'm not gonna lie. See, Nana says, look at the bundle. It gives you a decent amount of games, though. The adventure games and the Sonic 4 games, because no one will buy those on their own. I mean, he's correct. That's why they did that.
There you go.
That's the exact reason why they did it. But
yeah.
$60.
God, I remember when Sonic 4 Episode 1 came out, and I literally played the first level of the first episode and went, what the hell is wrong with the hit detection? The hit detection is awful.
Yes, it was.
Like,
It's very well. And then you could glitch. You could glitch through like levels, like you would fall in the underneath the thing. Oh no.
Yeah, it was clearly the way to try and bridge the 2D and the 3D gap, because it had the lock-on system and all that, and it just did not work for 2D. It was stupid.
Oh no. Nana says, I say this as a fan. I say this as one of the two fans of Sonic 4. I said Sonic. Y'all remember
Sonic? God, Sonic Unleashed is one of the greatest videos ever.
Yes, it is.
So good.
Good old Sonic. But yes, I'm disappointed to hear the price point, if I'm honest. I mean, I am like Pete. I mean, Pete and I differ in he likes physical games, I like digital games, but I'm still for game preservation. So I am for game preservation, even Sonic 4. But $60 is a lot of money. Oh, I cannot imagine.
So for those who actually do want to play the game, and I believe that the Sonic Generations is currently available via the backwards compatibility on Xbox, you can go into your local CEX and buy it for £8.
Now see, £8 is good. It's worth it. Sonic Generations is a good game. I enjoyed it very much.
I think I know what I'm doing tomorrow. Actually, I might go and check to see if it is actually in my local shop.
I think I think it's a worthwhile investment. I do, for £8. Yeah.
For £8, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, continuing on, Pete, with our next news story.
So I'm looking. Oh yeah, sweet. It is in my local shop. I'm going to buy that tomorrow. Sweet.
For our listeners, I'm on my last class. Anyway,
Okay.
yes.
Right. Speaking of games that have been preserved,
Yes. My favorite.
and this is another game that has had
Right.
several re-releases over the years.
Oh,
However, we have got a new re-release of a set of titles
okay.
because let me read.
Okay.
Enhanced editions of Doom and Doom 2 are on the way.
Yes.
But there is an
Oh,
update to it,
yes.
but we'll carry on with the update.
Okay.
So, ahead of a likely announcement at QuakeCon, user Wario64 on Twitter has discovered a Steam listing for the enhanced versions. So the update is that Doom and Doom 2 is now available on Steam, PSN, Xbox, and Switch. Bundle costs $10, and it appears that players who already own Doom or Doom 2 can download the enhanced editions at no extra cost.
Court. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so good to hear.
What does this include? Let's go through it, shall we? Because both games will be included in one package and will contain Doom 2, a new deathmatch pack with 25 maps, and 6 bonus episodes. So, TNT Evolution, the Plutonian Experiment, Master Levels for Doom 2, No Rest for the Living, Sigil, and Legacy of Rust.
Yes! Amazing!
So, the last of these, Legacy Rust, is an all-new episode which has been created by members of id Software, Night Dive Studios, and Machine Games.
It's amazing!
So, according to the Steam listing, the new enhanced editions of the game will run on the KEX engine, which was used recently, which was used by the recently released remaster of Doom 64, Quake, and Quake 2.
Yes,
This is going to result in native 16:9 support and 60 FPS, and gameplay at 1080p on all platforms, and up to 120 FPS in 4K on some hardware. The game
too much for me, but okay.
So the game that never dies will never die, because they will update this game to run on quite literally everything.
I love this game.
And
this is not
thank
a secret.
goodness. Also, here's another new addition to it. Players will also be able to choose between the original soundtrack or a new arranged soundtrack by Andrew Holsholt, who composed the music for Brutal Doom and co-composed the music for the Ancient Gods expansion of Doom Eternal.
Which is great, fine, but why would you ever not choose the original?
Because it's nice to have the option.
I love having the option.
Much like
it's
the same as Mario RPG had the option to play both.
Okay. Well, that, and then, of course, I always go back to the Master Chief Collection, where you could switch between the original Halo and the original
and
Halo
the look,
2.
yeah. Or the remastered versions, yeah.
Love that. But anyway, so, for people who know, of course you know, if you've been a listener of this show, I'm a huge Doom fan. We did a Doom review a few years ago. Please go check it out. It's over on YouTube.
Christ.
Yes. But
that review was like being slapped up by a cacodemon several times over.
That was the toughest review Pete and I combined have ever done.
Christ.
Together. I could not have finished it without Pete. It was insane. But we got it at the very last minute, and I played it for 48 hours, I think. I played it 48 hours straight, and then we did the review. Because it was our first embargo review. But my point being that I absolutely love Doom. I do. I love everything. It's like the culmination of everything I love about games. FPS. It evolved from the old style FPS, which we know, which is Doom, Quake, Heretic, all Hexen,
Duke Nukem.
all of that, Blood, Duke Nukem, all of that. That was so me. I know that some of our listeners were never even born yet. Can you believe that, Pete? Yeah, I know. Like poor Nana. But
way to feel old.
But those were the games, the PC games that I, quote, cut my teeth on. So Doom has always had a special place in my heart. And then obviously we did the review. To hear this is absolutely, I love this. I love this.
Yep. Do you know what else
Yeah.
I also love about this? Final statement.
that?
Because there's something else that's also being included within this package.
Okay.
This will also support cross-platform multiplayer for up to 16 players in both deathmatch and co-op mode.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And for the
Listeners.
stunningly low price of $10 for 2 games.
Okay. Listeners and watchers of this show, if you happen to get this version of Doom and you want to play it with me over on KILEY_WILDE, let me know, because we will absolutely do this on a Monday. Holy crap, yes we will.
Do it.
Pete, you should do it. But yes.
It depends on where I'm going to play the game, because 4K 120 FPS, that's tempting.
I know. You should play it, and then we should play it on a Monday, not this coming Monday.
Maybe Xbox.
Yeah.
Might be worth actually dusting off the Xbox for.
I was gonna say, I literally haven't. I'm sorry, listeners. I'm gonna tell the truth right here. I have not touched my Xbox in over a month.
It's alright, because I've currently got a paperweight sitting right next to me that is called a Dubai Tower. No, I mean a PS5.
Exactly.
That has not been touched for a while. There might be in the coming days.
Mine
Check that
says,
later.
"No, gotta love Doom." Oh, I love Doom. I absolutely love Doom.
Yeah, I see. Now I'm not as affiliated with the Doom games because I wasn't a PC player back in the day. But obviously, later on in my years, I have played it since, and wow, it's hard to go back to playing it. Obviously, if you're used to a more modern FPS, but the iterations that they have done on it have still made it incredibly relevant.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say something that will absolutely shock anyone who's been a long-time listener of this show. I love exactly, Mike. Doom is a mood. Also look up Dude. But I love Doom. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, Pete. I love Doom more than Halo.
Of course you do.
I do.
That's because there's more good Doom games than there are actually Halo games.
There are, don't get me wrong. I've said this before. I love the romance between Master Chief and Cortana. It's very reminiscent. Cortana. That's my American accent. But, it is a beautiful romance. It is like a neurodivergent romance. If for people who know what that means. But Doom speaks to me on a different level, because you just shoot, you just go, you just FPS your way through. It makes perfect sense. I just have always loved Doom. I've always loved Doom. And then Quake and Unreal are probably, I love Unreal. They're probably equal, but Doom for me is number one.
I never got on board with a lot of the other Unreal games. It's just Unreal Tournament was just my jam. Jesus.
Oh, that's where we all cut our teeth. Everyone of our generation cut our teeth on Unreal Tournament.
Yeah, so I remember I had so many memories of this, because we used to have. Well, I'm old as hell. We used to have internet cafes.
Yeah.
So the one that was local to my town, it was fantastic. We used to just go. It was run by a gamer, so we'd just go and sit in there, and it had UT installed on all the machines, so we would just play at LAN all the time. It was brilliant.
We had a LAN cafe that had UT and also 2142. And 1942, and that's what we would do. We would go after karate. We would all head over. God, I'm such a nerd. We'd all head over to the LAN cafe, and we played either Doom or we played 1942 or 2142, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Happy memories.
It was also the first place that I'd played Far Cry 1 and 2, and Gary's Mod as well.
Oh yes, Gary's Mod. Yes, because the LAN cafes, at least over in America, East Texas, they were the only PCs that could run that kind of stuff. My personal PC could not run that at the time. I could run Oblivion,
but not that.
That's all I could. Yeah, not that. Mike says sometimes I love this. I love this. Sometimes you just need to rip and tear until it's done. I kid you not, if I ever get a boyfriend ever in my life, I'm going to just be like, rip and tear, baby. Rip and tear. There's a meme, a classic meme that's about that. That's like, when I get home, I'm gonna rip and tear, baby. So yeah, I'm totally into that. Nana says I used to play Shadow War. Oh my gosh, yes, Shadow
Damn, Shadow
Warrior.
Warrior.
Yes, the old version when that was free. So I know my way around a game Doom like so. I love Shadow Warrior. Mike says my sister played a lot of GTA Vice City and internet cafes. Yes, I love Vice City.
Amazing.
I love it to this day. Mike says she was only 10. Oh my gosh, I was like 20. I'm so old. I'm so old.
When GTA Vice City came out?
Oh, no. But I mean, like, internet cafes,
okay,
like,
yeah.
When I was playing, 1942 with the guy that I had a crush on at the time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I kid you not. So we would go, after karate, we'd run over to the LAN cafe, and then we'd sit next to each other, and we'd play 1942, and we would just quietly touch toes. We'd, like, touch our feet to each other. We were like, hee. I'm a huge dork.
Yes.
I'm a huge dork.
Yes.
Just for anyone who doesn't know that. Mike says clothes will be ripped. Yes! Clothes will be ripped, hearts will be torn. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Do you know what else might be torn up?
What's that, Peter?
Marathon.
Oh. Speaking of Bungie, okay, let's hear about Marathon.
Yeah, because the mood of Bungie regarding its upcoming game Marathon is not great, it's claimed. By the way, I was listening to this for a fair while. I'll get on to that.
Dear.
So, according to the latest episode of Skill Up's Friends Per Second podcast, Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier was asked what the temperature check was at Bungie regarding Marathon. Yeah, I was listening to this for this reason, because so Schreier replied, I didn't finish it. Jason Schreier's voice gets on my nerves.
I cannot. Oh.
Yeah, anyway, so he replied, not great from what I've heard. There's a reason that it was planned for this year and slipped a whole year, and people that I've talked to are a little pessimistic about it hitting its current planned deadline. But we'll see. I don't know exactly when that is. Sometime in 2025. I'm not sure. He added, the sentiment I've heard is not great around it, at least of a few months ago. Oh dear.
Do you like what Mike said? Which is, for a moment, I was thinking about a chocolate bar when Pete said marathon.
You mean Snickers?
I was going to say, for our American listeners, Snickers, as we know it, it's called Marathon.
Well, it used to be known as Marathon until they changed it to Snickers.
Yeah.
Universal Worldwide Branding.
It's weird. So weird. Oh, I love Snickers. Reese's is still my favorite, but Snickers is pretty dang good. Mike says Snickers to himself.
I always do that. No one laughs at my jokes. Anyway.
Me too, Pete. Me too.
Anyway, Schreier also pointed out that the game received a leadership shake-up earlier in the year with game director Christopher Barrett and executive producer Carrie Guzkos, however you pronounce it, left the project.
Sure.
Given his opinion on the likely reception to the game when it's released, Schreier said he didn't feel the Bungie fan base would be enthusiastic about a PvP extraction shooter, and that he was concerned its continued development may lead to a similar issue to that of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Oh, now I have lots to say.
Shall I go with the quote? And then you can comment in. Suicide Squad started development in 2017 when live service was the hot new thing, and because of sunk cost fallacy and endless delays, and because there really wasn't any an interest or willingness in cancelling it because they had committed so much money to it, and there was just a belief that we just want to get it out, it's going to be cool. It came out and just totally flopped. I'm worried about Marathon being in a similar situation where it's been in development for a while. It entered development and extraction shooters were super hot. I don't know if that's the case anymore. And now, because they've committed so much money, and because it was the project that was the furthest along, as opposed to all their other incubation bets, they're really putting a lot into it, and I'm just not sure there's much of a chance it'll be successful. But then again, if you asked me in January, I would have been like, yeah, Helldivers, that game is going to tank so freaking hard, and it just looks like a disaster. And then, of course, turned out to be the biggest thing ever. So that's why I like to report and not so much make prognostications.
Okay, now I have a lot of experience with Suicide Squad, so we're going to talk about that.
Go for it.
Mags and we started out playing Fortnite, and then he was like, hey, why don't we try Suicide Squad? So we tried Suicide Squad. Now, to start with Suicide Squad, it wasn't a bad game. Now, this is before they had the, quote, battle pass. So we played it. It was a lot of fun. We kept it up for a couple of months.
Sorry, I'm going to disagree with you there. Fair enough, you're each to their own, but it's the worst game I've played this year.
Well, see, that's the thing. But see, I've said this earlier, and I'm going to say this now. My judgment is clouded in the fact that me and Max had a lot of fun, but I think that we had a lot of fun because it was me and Max.
Yeah.
As opposed to the game. But I don't know. I do know that when they enacted the Battle Pass, that's at the point where we got like, okay, this is just grinding. We're doing the same thing over and over. This is not fun. The game itself is not fun. Yeah, chatting and talking, that's fun. But the game itself is not fun. So I'm a little bit clouded on my judgment there, and I will be honest there. But Marathon is a classic. If you know Bungie, which obviously I do, it's a classic. If they do not go the route of Battle Pass and looter shooter,
they will.
Which, okay, let's be honest, they will. But if they don't, it'll be fine. If they do go that route, yeah, they're effed in the A. Which is sad because Bungie is one of my absolute favorite developers. I don't hide that. But they have been making some terrible decisions, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
They have been making some absolute terrible decisions recently. Oh, Mike says some games are fun because of the people you play with it make it fun. Well, see, that's the thing. I can never really give, I'm going to be honest here, I can never really give my honest opinion about Suicide Squad because the person I was playing with, Max, made it fun. Was the game itself fun? I don't know because
you were just in the moment. You were enjoying the game itself.
Exactly. I never really paid attention to what I was doing. Mike says on their own they could be a bit of a drag. See, if I was on my own, yeah, that probably would be. It would absolutely be a drag.
It was.
See, I can't give an honest opinion on that.
I can. It was an utter embarrassment of a game.
That's right. You did play it on your own. That's right.
Yes, I did. It was awful. It was an utterly terrible experience.
See, I feel terrible because I didn't have it.
No, you shouldn't, because you had a completely different experience, and it just goes to show that people can have fun doing something that's not necessarily enjoyable. And people have different experiences of things as well.
We did. See, it's very difficult for me to separate the game from the experience. And in fact, we were supposed to do the Mrs. Freeze Battle Pass, but we never got around to it. So I don't know if that's any good or not. I have zero experience on that.
Don't really understand why you take an established character, gender swap them when you got so many amazing female characters within the DC universe that you can do.
I was very confused about that. I'm not gonna lie, Pete. Mike says Among Us. Oh yeah, Among Us. For example, if you play it with your friends, you're in for a ride of a time. He's correct. Yes, exactly. poor Flame, if Flame is still in the chat. Yes, I played Amogus with Flame. It was a very fun experience. But that is actually a perfect example. I will never play Amogus, on my own. I don't. It's not fun for me. No. I don't like playing multiplayer games on my own. I do, however, love playing it with friends. I absolutely love multiplayers with friends and on chat and all that kind of stuff. And that makes it, the experience go up to here.
Yeah, I agree.
See my hand. Up to here as opposed to down here. And Mike says, if you play it on your own with randos, maybe not. Exactly, that's exactly it. I have played various games with randos. I don't like it. Pete is a perfect example. When me and Pete and a past co-host used to play Halo Infinite, I would not have played Halo Infinite if it weren't for Pete and past co-hosts.
I wouldn't have played it as long as we did if it wasn't for you guys. I probably wouldn't have enjoyed Back 4 Blood as much if it wasn't for us playing the beta together and enjoying that.
Back 4 Blood, Destiny 2.
Destiny 2. Among Us, when we played Halo. It on New Year's Eve. That was fantastic.
Yes. So fun. Yeah, see, so I cannot, you know what, Pete has just reiterated exactly what the point I'm trying to make. I cannot give a clear
distinction.
I don't know what the word is. Yeah, with a game separate from, if it's a multiplayer game, if I play it with people that I enjoy playing games with, I'm going to enjoy the game, even if it's crap.
Your experience goes hand in hand with the people that you play it with more than anything, rather than actually just the game itself. Because Destiny 2 was kind of crap. There were certain elements of Destiny 2 that's really good. But actually, the reason why I played it as long as I did was because of you guys.
I was gonna say, I did play Destiny 2 on my own, but majority of the time I played it with Kieran, our former co-host. If Kieran and I had not played it together, I don't think I would have lasted as long as I did for Destiny 2.
I'm surprised I did.
To be fair, Pete, you did. You gave it a very good try. Mike says Dead by Daylight is another good one that is better to play with friends.
I've always wanted to play Dead by Daylight, but I never found a decent group of people to go and play it with.
But Mike is absolutely correct, because that is like, we go back to Back 4 Blood. Again, me and Pete and Kieran, we played that.
Don't forget about Brent.
And Brent, that's right. Oh yeah, because we did that whole...
We did a whole article on it. Where 75% of what I wrote got cut out of it.
Yeah, but it had a good reason.
I know, I'm going to give you crap about that every single time.
I know, but it was... I want our listeners to know that Pete wrote an amazing addendum to that article, but it was a bit much.
There isn't many people that can make an online netcode sound feasibly interesting. It's almost impossible.
But I learned a lot.
Yeah, you did. You learned a crap ton and cut most of it out so that nobody else could learn it.
But Mike says, especially with the next upcoming killer for Dead by Daylight, really looking forward to that. Hey, Pete, one less person to find.
Yeah, cool. I'll bear that in mind, Mike.
But see, that's the thing that you're always going to run into, at least here on Rapid Reviews, Rapid Reviews Radio, I should say. When it comes to multiplayer games, I can 100% say that for me personally, it is influenced by the people I play it with. Destiny 2 was amazing because I played it with Kieran, and at times I played it with Kieran and Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Other games, Suicide Squad is amazing because I played it with Mags. Is it an amazing game? I don't actually know, because we were laughing and joking and just being silly. So it made it a great game. Is it a great game? I don't know. Me and Pete playing Halo Infinite, and then me and Pete and Kieran playing Halo Infinite.
Was it a great game? Who knows?
I don't know,
it was
because
okay.
we all three... Yeah, we laughed and joked and had a good time.
Look, any time that I can actually get positive KD, it actually seems alright. I had a couple of games where I absolutely stonked it.
And then as you said, the Among Us.
The Chungus.
Yes, that was so much fun. We had a rabbit reviews Among Us. I think this was the first game we actually played with Kieran ever.
I think it was, but that was our New Year's for 2020.
It
Because
was.
we couldn't leave the house.
We couldn't, we were in lockdown.
Yeah.
Exactly. P is making exactly the point I'm trying to make. We were in lockdown. We couldn't do anything. We just hopped on Among Us, and we had a great time.
Yeah, there's so many people that joined us. Nana joined us, Chloe joined us,
good.
Millie joined us, Kieran joined us, Lewis joined us.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever met Kieran, and he had a broken leg.
Yep.
So if you hear this, Kieran, we're thinking about you. But that's also true for Mags's quote unquote community nights. I've joined in Mags's many community nights. Games that I would not normally play. Arclight is one. Me and Danker played that with Mags. Would I normally play that? Probably not. The fact that I played it with those two and it was fun.
Yep.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah. So talking about that, like a game that I probably wouldn't have enjoyed playing on my own. I did try and play it on my own. Wasn't quite the same, but when I joined it for the community night, it was great fun. It was, Party Animals.
Yeah. Oh, Party Animals. Yes, that was one of the first community nights you ever played, Pete.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It was great.
I didn't join in. I was watching. Yeah, would I ever play Party Animals on my own? No. Not at all. That's not a thing I would do. But I joined in Mags's community night. Loved it. Loved every second of it. Nana says, haven't played that one yet.
Yeah. But anyway, shall we... yeah, we should... Yeah, we'll do a community night at some point anyway. Coming back to Marathon, I'm really worried about Marathon. I don't know how it's going to come out. I don't know what it's going to look like. I think they've teased it far too early, to be honest.
Well, the thing is, they've been teasing it for a couple of years now because they've been talking about this remake for literally a couple of years.
Yeah, they have, but they still teased it too early. They showed a teaser trailer for a game that essentially hasn't really got a loop yet. I haven't really got anything yet. It's kind of like the Anthem situation all over again.
It's exactly like Anthem. Oh my gosh, can you believe that? Which the original Marathon, again, I'm talking to Bungie fans right now, was amazing. Is it up to date for today's? No.
It's an old game, that's why. It's pre-Halo.
It is. It's pre-Halo. It was very advanced for its time, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. They have to do a lot to make it.
Yeah, I just don't know how they're going to handle it. If extraction PvP shooter is not going to work too well for it, I don't think. But we'll wait and see. We'll reserve judgment until we see actual gameplay for it, and let's just let Bungie cook. They could come up with something decent. We never know. I think just the pessimism around the fact that Bungie have made some pretty terrible decisions recently hasn't helped, and their firing of staff and all that. But we have to remember this is a completely different Bungie from what was experienced during the Microsoft era. Yeah. Most of the talent, like Joseph Staten, have all gone. They're off elsewhere. So this is a different Bungie. It's kind of like the same thing with Suicide Squad and Rocksteady. It's completely different Rocksteady to the ones that are actually making the Arkham series. So you just wait and see what comes out of it. Obviously, let's make judgment once we can actually see and play the game. But obviously, if it doesn't pique your interest, then don't spend the money and don't play it. Fair enough. Yes, you're entitled to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, talking of Arkham and Warner Brothers.
Oh, great.
So we've got a couple of stories here to do with Warner Brothers, so I'll compound them in together because...
That's what she said. So
funnily enough, let's actually start with this one because I think it will lead into the next one a bit better.
Okay.
So the article says, Warner Brothers Discovery has announced that its Q2 gaming revenue has fallen 41% year on year, thanks in part to sales performance of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
So much to say about that.
Anyway, so according to the company's Q4 2024 earnings results, which were published on Wednesday, all of its major segments, including cinema, TV, and video games, saw a decrease in revenue compared to Q2 2023. So, quote, games revenue declined 41% ex-FX, primarily driven by weak performance of Suicide Squad this year compared to the strong performance of Hogwarts Legacy in the prior year. Do you remember when people wanted to boycott Hogwarts Legacy?
I do remember that very well.
How well did that game end up doing? It ended up selling 20-something million copies because boycotts clearly never worked for that game.
Yeah.
Too many Harry Potter fans that are not plugged into Twitter. Almost like that's a thing. Anyway, carrying on. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was the company's biggest recent video game release. Developed by Arkham series creators Rocksteady, the game was met with mixed reviews and failed to achieve a consistent player base. You can't actually do any checks at the moment. Sorry. I was going to ask you to see if you could take Steam charts to see how many concurrent players were.
Oh, no, I can't.
No, that's fine. I'll have a look in a bit. Anyway, during its last earnings result in May 2024, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav said the difference between Suicide Squad's performance and that of Hogwarts Legacy last year had resulted in a $200 million impact to EBITDA. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Don't know what that means.
It says earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, or whatever that is, during the first quarter. So, according to Bloomberg, a large number of Rocksteady developers are currently working on a new version of Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay, cool.
Following the Batman Arkham Studios struggles with live service, it's claimed that Rocksteady leaders are also planning to pitch a new single-player title to Warner Brothers games. Anyway, let's not go into that because this leads on to this story. Because David Zaslav has said that he's looking into licensing the company's IP to non-Warner Brothers studios to produce games.
Interesting. I'm confused, but interesting.
So speaking as part of the company's financial results, David Zaslav discussed why he thought 2023's Hogwarts Legacy was such a success and how that can be a template for future titles. One of the reasons that Hogwarts, this is a quote, one of the reasons that Hogwarts Legacy was so successful and the #1 game last year was that you went to Hogwarts Legacy and you entered the game and you were able to become part of that world. That, ultimately, I think is a big piece of where the industry is going. That will create a movie, whether it's Batman or Superman or Harry Potter, and maybe there'll be a TV show, but the ability to go into that world and have that experience and spending time with all the characters is something that we still own. We have 11 studios here and we have a lot of IP, and there's a lot of interest among others in coming to take advantage of some of that IP for gaming, which we're looking at. Anyway, I'm glad the article mentions this because I think he seems to have forgotten this. Despite a large number of established IP, Warner has faced difficulty in the last years. Whilst Mortal Kombat continues to be a success,
oh my gosh,
Hogwarts Legacy was the biggest game in 2023. Several of its largest properties have been largely untouched in recent years.
That's so weird.
And,
that's so weird.
I also think he forgot about multiverses as well, but I think most of the community and most of the internet has forgotten about multiverses.
Yeah, so I believe Danker and I, and of course Max, we played Multiverses.
Oh yeah, and it was a crapshoot.
Terrible!
Well,
it was terrible.
When it was in its beta stage, me and Kieran both played it, and it wasn't great back then. I mean, considering they recently added, or are adding Samurai Jack to the game, I should be interested, but I don't give a crap.
No, I'm totally Nana says the story of multiverses is insane. Lol, and Danker says still is. Um, yeah, like that night that we tried to play multiverses was so frustrating because there was no, the multiplayer just bottomed out. It just wouldn't happen. So Max ended up playing by himself for the rest of the stream. But it's like, no, that's just what it comes down to. The multiplayer sucked. The multiplayer for a multiplayer game sucked. And that's the end of. I think it could have been a really great game, except it sucked. I mean, it just 100% sucked. The multiplayer sucked. And that's really all I have to say about that.
Yes.
I think it could have been fun, but they ruined it.
They did, and it was awful. It was a terrible, terrible game. But this is not. This is quite fitting for WB. They are in a real bother at the moment when it comes to any of their properties, whether it be film, TV, games,
Honestly,
anything.
yes.
The fact is that they've now had to reboot the DC universe in film for the third time.
I know, exactly.
The fact that, not only that, but quite a lot of their TV series are not doing particularly well. They have spent a lot of time, a lot of money in pissing everyone off. I mean, they had a Batwoman movie coming out.
No!
And they shelved it for no apparent reason.
No reason. She looked amazing, the story was amazing, and they shelved it.
They shelved that, but yet they come out with utter nonsense and tripe, such as that Tom and Jerry movie that looked bloody awful. And then I think the only thing that they're doing of recent times that actually is half decent, and it's not even due out for at least a couple of years because they haven't talked casting, they haven't talked anything, is the fact that they're going to have a book accurate Harry Potter TV series.
Ugh.
Trust me, that is something that will generate money for them. Yeah, it might not be your thing, but there are so many people out there that are mad about Harry Potter.
I have to be honest, I've said this before, I've never read the Harry Potter books, I've never seen a Harry Potter movie, I don't really know anything about Harry Potter. So, that's just me, that's just my personal, it may be great, I have no idea. Let's see, Nana says WE has managed to piss everyone off. Mike says WB are no strangers to tax write-offs. God, see, I'm just so divided because, like I said, did Suicide Squad suck? I'm sure it did. Mags and I don't play it anymore, so clearly it did. We were supposed to play it, to get the oh frick, whatever, Mr. Freeze, but Miss Freeze. And then he changed his mind. So I can't give you an unbiased opinion about Suicide Squad. I cannot. MK1 or whatever the it's called now.
Mortal Kombat 1 has not been doing well.
It hasn't been doing well, but MK11 was great. Why they changed it to MK1, I don't understand. I
don't really know either, but they announced their characters for the next pass, and that didn't go down well.
It didn't. And I absolutely love, this is not a joke, I don't know that we've talked about it on here, but I loved Batman from, a couple of years ago. What's his face? Vampire guy.
Robert Pattinson, the Batman.
That one. I actually enjoyed that version of Batman. I actually enjoyed it very much. And look forward to the next installment. But I think it's kind of hit or miss. I don't know. I don't think that they're doing well. I don't think that they're doing well. WB is doing well.
And they're doing terribly. They're not doing well at all. But they will learn eventually. David Zaslav will eventually get the point. Maybe. Not really.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know. the TV show Gotham. I thought it was really cool. But they didn't, like, they tried to do what Gotham Knights, I think they tried to make a show based on Gotham Knights, and then that get canceled immediately. Just, you know. I don't think that they know what they're doing right now.
Yep. I'm just looking through this Combat Pack 2 characters. And this is annoying because, like, I'd love to play as Ghostface. That would be cool as hell.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Don't really care about Mortal Kombat 1.
I mean, like, I love Mortal Kombat, but it's not been good.
No, it's been awful.
It's not been good. It's been awful.
Yeah, it has. But anyway, that's our news for this week.
Whoop whoop.
Pretty bad news for some of it. Apart from Doom.
Yeah.
Doom's doing well.
Doom is amazing, and I want to say, remind everyone, please go play Doom. Doom is amazing. Also, go check out our review of Doom.
Do it.
Over on the Rep Reviews YouTube. Nana says Combat Pass 2 might be the worst season pass I've ever seen.
No.
No?
It's a bad one. I can't think offhand of what's worse, but I've seen some bad ones.
Oh my.
I mean, DLC just as a whole. I don't really like battle passes anyway. I really get pissed of them.
I don't either. I'm kind of over battle passes.
Yeah.
Worked for Destiny. I really enjoyed Destiny 2. But again, how much of that was influenced by the people I played it with versus the actual game?
So,
who knows?
Yeah, Nana says, free returning characters and free guests, that makes no sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But this is the formula that WB and NetherRealm have been doing since the revival of in Mortal Kombat 9 in 2009, I think it was. Whenever it was. Or 2011. Yeah. But, yeah, because they would always have a guest character because they had Kratos in the PS3 version of MK9. Right. They've had several horror movie characters like Freddy, Jason, Alien, Predator, and all those seem to get hype. I mean, MKX had some great guest characters, and they actually played really well with the meta. But it's literally done just for appeal, and the fact that it's easier to go and license a character to generate easy hype, and it just I think people have started to see through it because the games themselves are just vapid at this point.
Yes, I think that's the perfect descriptor. It's vapid. That is the absolute perfect descriptor for WB games.
Whereas you look at Street Fighter 6, they're generating 2 guest characters in there that has got a lot of speculation going around about what's going to be the future of Capcom and SNK.
Yeah.
It's
very true.
And also I have to it's stupid. I mean.
Mike says Smash Brothers Ultimate ruins MK11 for me.
Well, it's easy done because Smash Ultimate is the ultimate crossover game.
Yes, although I do like MK11 because it has Joker, the good Joker.
Yeah, but Joker was also in Injustice, and Injustice 2 wasn't that great.
Yes, that's true. Mike says, imagine my surprise when Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate came out.
And yeah, it ran like dog crap on the Switch. It was really bad.
And everyone was not there. I know.
Yep.
I know. See, they've just made bad decisions.
Yeah, the only time that you'll ever get that sort of situation when it comes to Mortal Kombat was Mortal Kombat Armageddon on the PS2. When you actually had an everyone was here situation before Smash Brothers did it.
Yes. Oh, that actually brought me back. 'Cause if you remember PlayStation, the original PlayStation, and they had
PS1 and
PS1 Sub-Zero, I was
I'm out. Sub-Zero mythologies is awful.
I was like, I'm done. I love Mortal Kombat, but I'm done. And then they brought it back. But anyway, so I think that's going to wrap it up for us.
It is.
Yeah, but stick around for our post podcast chat.
Yeah.
over at twitch.tv/rapper-reviews. Please come join us. You're amazing, and we would love to see you there to continue the conversation. But Pete, tell us where they can find you outside of this wonderful, beloved podcast.
So you can find me lurking around several Discord servers, such as the Rapid Reviews UK one, and occasionally Modern Escapism.
Yes.
Well, more so now, probably the Mike Tendo 64 Discord. Yeah. But you can listen to my dulcet tones and watch my terrible game playing of Smash Ultimate when the Game and Chat episode comes out tomorrow, I believe it is. Mike, please let me know in the chat if that is coming out tomorrow. Also on the Never Watchers podcast, if you do like films and TV. Yeah, still trying to get the Dune Part 2 episode up and running. It's been bad. I've just not had the time to actually look at it, so hopefully this week I'll get a chance to look at it. But anyway, yeah, so check that out, and we should be doing another episode soon.
Ooh, very nice.
Cody, where can they find you and your streaming?
Please come join me over on twitch.tv/KILEY _WILDE, where I'm trying to make affiliate. I went to TwitchCon back in, was it June?
It was June.
Okay, thank you. And I had to go up and I had to tell them, obviously my username or whatever. And they were like, oh, you got an underscore? That's so rare. It's like, really? Is it? So apparently I've got like a special name. So please come find me there. And I definitely stick to a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday schedule. But sometimes, as I said earlier on the show, well, I might have said it before we started recording, but when I'm feeling particularly alone and sad, very sad, I will like, come find me. I will stream on like other games. Like sometimes I do House Flipper, but not always. Sometimes I do Hitman. Sometimes I just do whatever the game I'm doing or whatever. But if I'm particularly lonely, I will start streaming. If I stream outside of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that means please come talk to me. I'm lonely. Whereas my community is very open. It takes all kinds. We're very friendly. We're very open. We're very accepting of other people. Neurodiversity is absolutely 100% accepted and respected. So yeah, you can just come along, talk to me because I'm lonely and I need people to talk to me.
Do it.
And we have fun. What, Pete?
I said do it.
Yes, do it. Do it. But yes, I would love to see you there. I will 100% absolutely accept you and envelop you, and you will be accepted in my community. We have a great thing. Oh, I just saw that. I guess I won't read that out loud.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's fine.
Yeah. But anyway, so yes, again, please come join me on twitch.tv /KILEY _WILDE. You can lurk. You do not have to talk. You can just chill with us. Again, we're an accepting community. We're a neurodiverse community. I do like it when they refer to us as neurospicy. I like that. And it's just fun. We just have fun, and I don't know how else to say it. It's just fun. But anyway, Pete, what about you?
What about me? Done me already.
Did you already do everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, but I have shared the link to, because Mike has said that you guys, the ROU Geek community, can have an exclusive first look whilst it's currently unlisted. So it's up on YouTube right now. Go and have a look.
Yes, that's perfect. So that's going to wrap it up for the this podcast. How did you like that? Podcast podcast portion. We thank you so much for joining us. And we hope that you will join us next week, where we have more news you can use. And come join in the conversation. But I think that's going to do it for this portion. But we do have an after show that we would love for you to stick around and join us with. So we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye!
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Rapid Reviews Radio podcast. You can find the podcast on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and various other podcast platforms. You can also find the video version by searching Rapid Reviews on YouTube and watch the podcast recording live on Twitch at twitch.tv/rapidreviews at 7:30pm UK time every Sunday. Please make sure to follow the podcast on Twitter at RRRadiopod, and for all the latest reviews, visit www.rapidreviewsuk.com or on Twitter at RapidReviewsUK.